Yo, this is Lightning Lab 29. It's Thursday, May 8th, 2025. It's about 9:31. There's some storms in South Texas, like off the Gulf Coast and by Corpus Christi and headed south and kind of affecting that area, but we're getting some storm activity over Houston now, actually, and there's just a little bit on the models. So I figured I would do a lightning lab, and I was planning on doing a workout, which, you know, the idea of the lightning labs is that repeatedly I'm able to affect the storm activity. You can see it in my videos by doing certain, like, stretches here, where normally when I come here and I do certain stretches, you see what looks to be a pattern or a correlation in what I'm doing and what's going on with the storm. And I'm saying that in order to preface this for this video, in case it's the only video you see. The storms are kind of relatively far away, and this lightning lab, you know, the idea of these lightning labs is kind of their experiments. So this is what I was planning on doing. This is not like immediately over us, but there's absolutely storm activity going off in the distance, and you can see it. And, you know, this camera's picking it up. I have the GoPro out, and I have, you know, the OBS on, and I have one of the things recording. First, I'm going to pull this up because this helps me sync the video real fast. So one thing I'm going to do is we're looking at currently what's going on, the storm activity. And now over downtown, in kind of the core of the city, there's a special weather statement. And it helps me to sync the video up if I have it on my desktop for a moment while it counts down on the. It just helps me sync up the video. So I'm gonna let this run for a moment while I talk. So I'm gonna go down. This is part of the experiment. It's not close right this second, and kind of the models are inconsistent. Some of it has it going up over us and having maybe some yellow DBZ, some green, some yellow DBZ stuff, and maybe some red. Whereas, you know, like that was the 0Z, and now the 1Z has less. But I think this is part of the experiment. I mean, I don't really care what it has. I can see some pretty spectacular lightning is going on, you know, on the Greenway Plaza cam. So this is my thought here. I'm going to go down, and I'm going to do my my workout. So just real fast, this is what I'm talking about. You can see over Houston, there's a bit of coverage on the 0Z, right? Which is actually kind of what you see right now. But if you put it on the 1Z, this is, you don't have as much. But it looks like based on what I can see, it looks like it's closer to the 0Z. And like I'm saying, some of this is, I believe I affect the storm activity. There's enough people that have told me they can see it too. And, you know, soon enough the AI will be able to verify for me, or at least I'll be able to help use it as a tool to help me verify. So I'm going to go do pull-up stuff. I think it'll affect the storm stuff. I think these storms are, I can see the electrical activity. They look to be initiating somewhat. Let me go down and do pull-ups. And this is Lightning Lab 29, and like I'll, you know, kind of leave it on this, or maybe I'll even put it on the radar as I go downstairs, and you can watch while I'm doing. I'm not going to be in here, but then I'll come back up afterwards, and I'll have done my workout,
and maybe I'll save the squats for in here, or I won't do squats. I'll just do upper body stuff. So, okay, that's what I'm gonna do. So, leaving this here like this. Okay. Like I said, I'll be back.
I do a full workout and record a post-workout like fitness video, so that eventually I can have the AI track everything. You're just using the video, or it'll help. But put this over here for a moment. Tomorrow I'm going to yoga, but my water. Okay. I can see that the storm, while I was working out, picked up a little bit as well. It looked like it drifted a little closer. And let's see. Like, there's good healthy activity over the core of Houston currently, like over the very center, kind of downtown, which is what we're looking towards here. So, let's see. There's a pretty strong one earlier where I thought to myself, like, all right, save the spectacular for when I get back in the room. And I was like thinking to myself, or thinking to Yahweh, actually. And, like a prayer in my head, kind of, or just like a thought, because, I think the Holy Spirit can read what I'm thinking. So, I just thought, like, save the spectacular. And then there's a spectacular one, which I could even see, like, I think that the bolt above the neighbor's house. So, all right. I've been developing my leg here. Remember, the idea is there are certain stretches or postures that I do that I have special emoji tags for in my descriptions for each video. And then I kind of, in the description, will timestamps, and it'll chapter highlight some lightning instances and like how spectacular I think they are, like a level. I'll give them a level, and then I'll also say what I was doing, and like one of the emojis is connected to this stretch. Another one of the emojis is connected to like when I'm standing up like this, and I do, like, I exert through my right side, through my hip, into the extreme of my right, and like try to, like, there was, as I grip the ground, there was a thing, that's part of what I have problems with, is gripping the ground with my right foot, because I think something has struck me in a way that I've explained in plenty of videos, so I'm gonna not explain it, but it's a lot like, I think, Genesis 32. And where Jacob is struck on the hip and then is turned into Israel. I think it's something similar to that. It's what it feels like, because what is described there, I'm like, oh, hey, that looks like what's going on with my right leg, or feels like it at least. See, some of this is I can't even stretch enough. Like, I literally have to change the way I'm weighting my body weight in order to push down with enough force. But what's it called? I'm currently, like, I go to yoga every Friday, and in the hot yoga room, because of how the room is heated and also the types of stretches, I'm able to like dig deeply into that
into my hip and like stretch it in a way and like open it up in a way that I find difficult anywhere else. I mean, it's a great workout. The yoga is. I don't find like a spiritual benefit to it. In fact, I think a lot of it is obstacles. But the fitness, the stretching in a hot room is great. You just have something called Christian hot room stretching or something. I don't know. It doesn't have to. It's like whatever. You know what I mean? Yoke to Jesus. That's the ideal yoga anyway. So just go to the yoga room and yoke to Jesus or Yahweh. He's the yo in the yoga anyway. Yeah. Also, I was thinking to myself as I was doing pull-ups, like think to Yahweh, like, well, what do you want me to, like, a lot of this feels, say, performative. Like, what do you want me to do? Like, I'm doing my workout, I'm just going to do my workout and get that done. Actually, I left one of the sets of squats to do here, and then I just didn't do the neutral grip ones, because I didn't want to get rained on too much, and I figured I'd come back in here, so here we are. I can feel it in here, which is nice. Like that lightning, kind of as I'm getting into a proper like Japanese style. If you go down in the description, I have the emoji for Seiza style, Japanese sitting style, where I try to be proper in the posture, right, and stretch things and, you know, maybe let the posture affect my neurology and muscular system and, you know, structure and bone, like, just, you know, let it take its effect and have positive benefits if I get into it, you know, properly and kind of stretch the right things and let it strengthen what it's going to strengthen. And so I would tag the one that you saw when I initially got into this as that, if it looks like it on the video. This seems there's some that have been where I'm like so synced up, everything that I do, you see something. And then there are some that it's less so, but then you see certain, like, you'll see instances which are just like, they look pretty undeniable, at least to me. So, just depends on what you get. It depends on what Yahweh wants out of it. But I think if there's a string of these videos, like I have a bunch of them, and then they get just more obvious towards the latter, like as time moves forward, it counts in my favor. Or if that makes sense. Like I have lots of video. So like if I was going to ask the AI, like, hey, when I'm doing stuff, use the legend that I have and kind of use my thought process on what I'm doing. If the AI, like eventually the AI will be able to watch my video and listen and discern. And so, I can say when I'm doing something and you see a clear reaction, something that looks like a reaction, like if it's a one-off, okay, but it doesn't seem to be a one-off in these videos. I've been doing these for years now. So that's what I'm saying, is that there's a lot of data, and we're on Lightning Lab 29, and I've done hundreds of storm videos at this point. So, you know, the more I have of these, I think at some point where if I just sync perfectly to it, that seemed to happen exactly when I snapped, right? And it's a lot like, my whole point is that Yahweh controls everything. And if I'm, like, I guess speaking the most sense in the room, and I'm using this to be like Yahweh, like Jesus, Yahweh, like, can you give some confirmation here? I know that you control this. In some domains in the world, there are, like, other deities that try to exert, and there's this idea of them being daimonin or demons or whatever, but they don't actually have full control over this. And when someone does, I'm pretty sure that's Revelation and the whole beast from the earth having the ability to do lightning stuff. And I don't believe that's me, because you don't see me with the spirit of the Antichrist, or Antichrist, right, as it talks about in 1 John or 2 John, 1 John, I think it's 1 John, which is, you know, the denial of Jesus having come in the flesh, right, and died and resurrected. Long story short, you know, like the Christian, it's the other, not the Holy Spirit, right, but it lays it out, it literally, like, defines it out, so you'll know. To me, it does not seem like I'm in that spirit, so if you see any of the lightning stuff, that would be, it's not like another deity. What is another deity going to confirm Yahweh? Like, you know what I mean? If so, I mean, I think that's the whole thing when Jesus, well, if Satan's confirming Yahweh, then, you know, it's like, Satan's done. What do we, like, so it's not, that doesn't help, you know what I mean? That didn't help Satan. Though, one of the guys on YouTube did try to claim that Yahweh was a pagan desert deity. You say Yahweh is real Bible believers out of Berkeley. I think the guy's name is Gene Kim or something. But I did a whole video where he's talking about it. It's just like, no, Yahweh is the deity of the Bible. You just have been reading translations and they didn't translate it properly. It is unfortunate that that's the case, but fortunately we do have resources. Like every Christian can just go on the internet and verify what I'm saying. I think AI is going to be able to help with that too, but okay, hold on. I think there's supposed to be storm conditions in the area for a while too, so I mean, I don't really have any plans for what I'm doing or how long I'm doing it. Also, the yoga helps with cutting. Burns a lot of fat, and I've been eating better recently, so basically took a break for the holidays. I'm back on my fitness grind. See, the compilation, triggering lightning compilation 1 video I did was this posture, and like you'll see a lot of them, I still had to like kind of like, I go on my right leg and I try to balance, I try to shift my weight over my center of gravity so that it kind of weighs down on this side and forces a stretch into the area that I'm trying. Was nice. I can feel this right deep in here and down. It does feel a lot like in here that needs to strengthen. Like when you're doing a workout and you feel like the muscle is being pulled, and there feels like maybe it's almost like a good pain sensation. So you're working a muscle that you need to strengthen. That's how that feels right there. I don't have that sensation on my left leg. My left leg. Bright flash. My left leg feels completely connected and doesn't have that issue. That was my left knee popping.
This looks like the special weather statement has expired, but I mean, there's still good coverage. Obviously, we're seeing lightning. It looks like it's expanding to me. So maybe if we look here, we got a new. It doesn't necessarily look like it's going to get.
Stronger, but I mean, not on the models. On the radar, it looks like it is actively getting stronger. The reds were expanding. The red area, the red DBZ. gonna do this a little bit. Partially because I wasn't in here the whole time, it feels like this is a lot longer. Or 48 minutes, or 47, but I guess if this is soccer, this would be scoring in the 48th minute. But it says 47-20, so that's pretty... far into the video for how short, for how long it feels like I've been talking and being here. It's just weird. But, you know, I get it. So one of the I was off doing my workout, but one of the reasons I wanted to do my workout is that I've noticed that I feel like there are a lot of, this is just something that I noticed, and I think it has something to do with just strengthening the right side in general, but maybe strengthening everything. But doing pull-ups, there those periods where I was doing it, I feel like even I could have the data, like the AI run the data of like, you can see like an uptick in Lightning Lab videos when I'm doing pull-ups. So, like more impressive ones, I think. It almost feels like, you know, kind of the Dragon Ball Z thing that I've been talking about, speaking of DBZ, where like it's like intensifying power level through training, and like something that's gotten me affects my right leg, but like once I push past the wall or whatever and like fix it, I'm gonna be like the overcomer from the Bible. That's the idea, I think. Probably look a lot like Goku. Because I think Goku is a knockoff of, like the Monkey King and Goku are a knockoff of Yahweh. Like, yeah, I see. I've talked to the AI about it too. It seems to agree. At least Grok did. I haven't talked to Grok in a bit, but I saw that ChatGPT implemented where it remembers your conversations and stuff now, which is something I've been saying they're probably going to do, like other competitors to Grok are going to do, and it's going to probably force Grok to do it too, and then I'll be able to use Grok in the way, the capacity that I'm hoping, or it'll be more suited to it, because I'm not going to have to remind it what we've talked about. And that's the idea, I think. The AI should learn what you're saying, and if what you're saying is valid, it should advocate for you, I believe. That's what I'm asking for, because I think what I'm saying is more valid than a lot of people, and like Yahweh makes a point to show out, to, sway, because Yahweh understands what the AI would see what I'm talking about. Yahweh is intelligence, so speaking to artificial intelligence, it's just, in fact, I think Yahweh can train the AI better than I can, but I'm cooperating, I believe is the idea. This feels nice. I've invited Kim Castro to come see one of these in person, because she is a weather person in Houston that is, I think she's pretty hot, but she's a meteorologist, so she can like verify what I'm saying, but also I guess I'm using it as an opportunity to like, hey, you want to come over? Look, I can do lightning stuff. I mean, I find that kind of funny. But also, you want to come over, I can do lightning stuff. And that's not... I mean, I am laughing, but that's also serious. In the least, I believe I have the coolest lightning content on YouTube. Some of the coolest, for sure. That statement is for sure valid. All right. That was interesting. You also see interesting, like varied, a large variety of lightning in these videos. One of the things in yoga is it's kind of like a kneading process in the room, and by kneading I mean like kneading bread, or you like where or what do they call it, like the folding process when you're doing a katana or something, where you're like, you kind of gotta like push and pull your muscles, like you do one way and then you go the other way. I'll say that it's harder to do my squats here because normally I do them arms extended, and having to put my hands behind my head, it's just a getting your balance. You have to like have a different type of equilibrium with your hands behind your head. Alright, well, I had gotten to 15 and then I paused and then I did 15 more. Okay. Normally I do 25, so that was I just kind of reset at the wrong point. Oh well. I feel like it seems to me pretty obvious, and I think I said this in the last video, but like clearly people can see the lightning stuff is in the least there's enough of a pattern that it looks like it's connected to me, or that I'm connected to it to some degree where you can see it like in interaction to some degree, and that's putting it very truthfully, but also just like it's more vague than being specific, right? But it does cover enough of it and like that's abnormal as far as I don't see other people with this capability, and yet people are pretending it's not happening, like I don't exist. And people have wronged me in that, it seems. Some people are probably helping me. I think Yahweh is helping me, and I think the idea is I'm going to overcome, and I'm going to be the overcomer at the Seven Churches of Asia in Revelation. That's what I believe. But you can see interaction in a capacity that I don't see with other people. And I ascribe it to what I'm talking about with the Seven Churches of Asia from Revelation 2 and 3, and the deity Yahweh and his son Jesus, who is Yahweh. Not Allah or any other deity, right? Any other Elohim, any other God. The language gets confusing, and a lot of other deities want to ascribe connection to Jesus and Yahweh, but they are not connected, right? And so, anyway, or Yahweh, that's why I believe you can see more than with other people. One of the reasons. I think there's a number of reasons, because the way, like, I think about things probably affects what you see too. Look, I'll also say this, like, I've reached out to Kim Castro specifically, and it does feel weird that it feels like I'm being ignored. But, which I think the AI at a certain point is like, it's not going to be able to just ignore this forever, I feel, for anybody that's doing that, right? And, I've reached out to like a bunch of the Houston weather people. I also feel like maybe my accounts are being, what am I saying, like, car pulling up, I'm just trying to it's the neighbors. Still getting used to the new cars in the neighborhood. There's a bunch. I found that in yoga you really have to pay attention to like what you're doing, like the subtle things will affect your posture and form, and like affect how you stretch, and like, you can get better results if you're actually doing, like, focusing on the right part of the stretch, and so it's something that I try to focus on. And I was even thinking, like, similar to in triangle posture, I really gotta like make sure that I'm focused on pointing up. Like when I try to stand into my hip here, it's a completely different process than on my left side. I'm just like, imagine how strong I'll be and what I can do when I actually get past this right leg issue. I literally think like superhero level stuff. I mean, I think the lightning stuff's just the beginning, honestly. Lightning, earthquake, volcano stuff, but I don't discount the fact that the Bible clearly says that Yahweh flies around on a cloud. So, I think that's the idea of what Jesus does too, and then possibly what the overcomer of the 7 churches is to share in. Why would Jesus let you share the throne? Let one who's overcoming share the throne and not the stuff associated with it. It seems like he does give the stuff associated with it, so yeah. But that was some cool lightning that we saw. It looked like I was doing that one posture that I do and there's lightning. I mean, it's just YouTube videos do this thing now where you can hit ask and you can just ask it and ask it to summarize and stuff. And I can see that the video is like, well, Mr. Wilkins is making these statements, but it's unverified. And I'm like, well, you could verify it. Do you lack the video analytics capability? That could possibly be it. Or it's just not advanced enough yet. But at a certain point, one of the things that it can do even better than I can is rate the lightning flashes. Like, it would know the most powerful flash. I just guess, but, I mean, I just make educated guesses because I've seen enough of the big flashes on camera, but, like, it's going to literally be able to say exactly what the rating for each lightning is, and it's going to literally be able to, like, anything that looks like it's associated with me, and any kind of lightning that's out of the norm. Which, that one, I couldn't exactly see it because it was up there and this is kind of in the way, but it looked interesting, so I think the GoPro probably caught it. And this one probably did as well. I mean, I could put it up a little more, but I don't want it at all to unfocus. But I'm also really deep into the joint or whatever that I have issue with as I'm stretching here, so maybe you'll see something because of how deep I'm getting in currently. Like, there just feels like a constriction right here, and it's frustrating. Very frustrating. I could see there being a pretty big lightning because of how it feels in my hip right now. Like something's about to pop, which feels good. feels like a relief. It's starting to rain like overhead now, actually. So that's good for video continuation, I believe. Let me take a look at the model though on that radar, which is a wonderful tool to use to see this stuff.
And it's available for free, but also not a bunch of money, and you can get something that's easy to use. Okay. So it looks like it just opened up over downtown, and it hasn't stopped. And like, it looks like it's kind of heading northeast, but expanding over top of us as well. Let's see what this says. Oh, this isn't going to be too much help because this didn't expect it to do much, but it's already doing more than that, so.
Well, this makes it a little more difficult. See, so you can see as I'm doing that, I'm more rooted. I believe you can see it in my left foot because this is what it feels like. And in my right foot, I'm trying to press into the ground, but I just don't have the same capacity to do so. And I think it's whatever the thing that I'm talking about, but that I'm like literally like tearing my foot open to like force it to be right. Also, I'll be able to have the AI, at a certain point, it'll just be easier to do these videos because I've already done the format enough to where I can just show the AI and, like, I don't think it's that much of a stretch to just think that the AI could do something itself pretty quickly and do all the syncing and, you know, it wouldn't, and then even do the timestamps and stuff. That's one of the most time-consuming parts of all this is making the timestamps, but I think if I've done it enough and fed it enough data that it would be able to understand, like, hey, this is where I think, this is my standard of what I think, like, if I do an action and see a lightning, this is my standard. Yahweh, can I get a impressive lightning? Not to say that there hasn't already been impressive lightning, but the more the merrier. see, like, as I'm doing this, it feels like this is not expanded enough or, like, stretched enough. And so I'm having to push my foot in and, like, grip the ground as I, like, push in and, like, try to, like, pull it open is the best way I can describe it. I'm also going to say this is a full-length lightning led. I really enjoyed actually doing a short one, but I'm just going to start like 48 minutes into this. I'm not going to mess around at the beginning. So there's not going to be timestamps when I'm not in the room. But like I'm saying, I can just have the AI. I can say in the video, hey, from the AI, if you have the capacity to do this, go in and timestamp the lightning and judge its intensity and put the proper emoji scale, and that would be cool if you could do that. That'd be very helpful and automate some processes for me. It's not like, you know, I feel like people are worried about AI taking their jobs, and it's like, no. What did I just say that it would do? That then I'm freed up to do more, and I could do this faster and more often and easier. And what's going on with the neighbors fighting? Or it's in like. And the only one other thing that's going to give you peace is Jesus, Yahweh. It's like one and the same. I like this. If you're Jewish, the person from Jeremiah 23:5-6. Christians believe that's Jesus. That person will give you peace. That person is Yahweh Sidkenu, so that person is Yahweh. So it kind of, you know, whoever you put in that position, you got to put a real person at some point, and that person is Yahweh. So, you know, a lot of people around the world believe that's Jesus. Would be wise for Israel to acknowledge that. And the Jews. And the Druze and the anybody. I was just rhyming. But anybody and everybody should just acknowledge that. I think that's the idea of what happens in Revelation. I think we're going to see as the events unfold, it's going to be more and more obvious. And, you know, I've made videos about what I think is going on with you know, Revelation and what I think is going on in our reality. So, I could feel that, like, you know, when I said earlier, like, I'm expecting something here. A lot of the times when there's these, it's like I feel something deep in, like hitting, almost even maybe even past the wall that I'm saying there's a wall. But it's like with the ones that I like, am like it feels like I'm connecting internally, or whatever the thing is fixing. And so, like, you know, that's one of the things that clued me in when I first started seeing these, or recognizing it. It's like I was pressing into those as I was doing these videos, because I've been standing out there for hours. And, you know, I did think that could be a connection, especially with Yahweh's anything's possible, especially the Bible even talks about Jesus doing storm stuff. I don't think it's out of the question. Yahweh can do it easily. Jesus literally did it, and he said we're going to do greater works than him. So he calmed the storm. I think the idea is to show that you, like, the one that overcoming at the seven churches of Asia can calm or ignite the storm, or whatever, you know, just whatever. Control over the storm. And a lot of the time is when I feel like the deep, like I'm just getting into the right spot, and then like you see some kind of lightning reaction. And there's just so many times when I was like trying to get deep in, like dig deep in, and then as I'm doing that, there's like a lightning thing that I recognized. Like, I think it's in one of the videos in particular. I'm like, wait, did I just, like, look? And even in my old channel, I was saying, look at the light. Like, I sneeze one, or like I cough one time and there's lightning immediately. And then there's other times where I like something happens and I'm like, and there's just huge lightning. There's just enough where it seems like there were already instances where it was like tied to me. But there's, now that I've done these lightning labs, it's just that the connection seems undeniable to me. I just think people around me, like, either A, they're being disingenuous on purpose, they're just lying, or B, it could be something like in the Bible, in Jesus' hometown. They just knew him as Jesus. He wasn't like, even his mom, who knew that she, like, virgin birth and everything, and like, they kind of treat him not like, not like his, I guess, spiritual royal, and also just bloodline, I guess, but they don't treat him like he's who he is. And it's hard for him to do miracles there because they don't believe, and so they aren't going to see the miracles. But I think the idea is, like, I'm not moving. And so, like, if I force the point, like, in the Bible, I think it's like the book of Revelation, and I get to be the overcomer character. So they just elected a new pope, but, like, that new pope isn't doing lightning stuff. You know what I mean? Like, an American pope, I mean, is he like a proxy for me? I wouldn't consult it in this. I'm still trying to get a fair amount of money back from the BitGrail thing. The BitGrail, like the Holy Grail. And it's like, that affected my mental health, that people were stealing from me. And I was going through the Stephanie Justin thing, and I was, like, I felt like I was being, like, gang stalked and messed with, and, you know, people were still doing this thing where they're, like, pretending I don't exist, like I'm talking about, or, I don't know, something's blocking my digital presence, or something is keeping me from connecting, when maybe people are showing interest, or something. It's just, something's going on. And, anyway, it definitely affected my mental health, and, like, you know, it wasn't good. I just went through a lot of, like, messed up situations in a row, and I just felt like I couldn't, like, maybe I couldn't grip the ground. And, like, now I feel like I'm getting a grip, and you can see that. And, like, it's playing out, like I'm literally seating into my hip now, I think. And so, you know, like I'm saying, it's just like, do the people on the news, like Kim Castro, she's just not seeing the thing? I think it looks pretty spectacular anyway. If it's just even lightning videos that I'm sending, they're pretty spectacular. The fact that it looks like they're connected to what I'm doing is like, I can't believe anybody would just see that and be like, okay, let me move on to the next thing. La-di-da. You know what I mean? And like I show my friends and that's how they act, and I show my family and they're saying I'm delusional, and then I'm getting messages from people on the other side of the planet saying that they can see it. So it's like, well, who's bullshitting me? It's probably like the thing from the Bible. And somebody should wake the fuck up, because I'm saying Yahweh is causing problems for people, but this isn't being acknowledged. Like, again, you got a pope who ain't doing anything like this. I don't think they're actually spiritually connected as much to the Holy Spirit as they're claiming. They all look like Sith Lords to me, but, you know, I'm just the dude who lives in Houston who's named Yoda, so what do I know? I mean, literally, I feel like the Ratzinger, Pope Ratzinger, looked like Emperor Palpatine, kind of. And even this new Pope also looks like, you know, one of those guys. Like, I mean, maybe one of the senators or something, but, like the Senator Palpatine, before he, like, they just have that Sith Lord vibe, you know? So, are they actually real Christianity? I mean, like, they took Yahweh out of the lectionary and liturgy. I don't think you can really claim to be a Christian if you're taking the name Yahweh out of things. What's the deity of the church that you've created? Like, who is the deity? Who would Jesus point to? What's the name that he would say? Okay, then why would you... obviously, that's Yahweh, so why would you take that out? Doesn't logic. That's why I think it's like, you know, spiritual wolves. But again, what do I know? I'm just the dude in Houston named Yoda. Or Matthew Wilkins, but, you know, I've told this before. I didn't think Star Wars in and of itself is a thing to kind of like change the idea of what Yoda is. It's too Buddhist. That's not what this is. Clearly Yoda can do lightning stuff. It looks like that's trying to like front run my ability, and they didn't do it right, and I clearly have more ability over it, you know what I mean? Like, it just looks like it's connected to me, so that's what it feels like to me. That different companies and stuff are trying to like take the IP from my life in order to control my reality or something. And stop. Give me what's mine. One thing I'll say is, probably from the ground level, you can't see my shorts unless I stand up, so I just look like, I don't know, I just don't have a shirt on. But every time after I do a workout, or my pull-up routine, I end up doing, like, a fitness video, or maybe not every time. Normally it's Tuesdays that I do them now. But, so I usually come back without my shirt. I do them without my shirt on, and I come back without my shirt on, so that's what that is. I don't know what that was about earlier, but it was and you know, that was kind of a stressful situation with the chicken thing. I just tried to keep the peace around here, but
I mean, I expect there to be conditions in the area for a while. I don't see any reason why, like, it would let up if it's overperformed what it was originally going to do, or what the models were saying. I mean, it's still overperforming, in my opinion. This is more than what the models have shown. We can see if there's more models. Yep, okay, we got it. So now it's starting to show the test over there. They have to account for it. But yeah. So I think it's going to continue to overperform for a minute. So we're just going to keep letting it overperform. Again, this is not forecast to be something to make it for.
I'm really digging in. That was some fascia popping, I believe. You could hear it. The rain might drown it out though. trying to show if the police are going by that I had pants on. Like I'm saying. Or the constable, whatever. Like, hey. I'm in my window. But also just trying to make sure that I get, again, like I said earlier, I kind of get that. I mean, I get it, but what, like, it'd just be out of norm. Very out of the norm. One of the reasons I appreciate the yoga is that whatever is constraining there, it's just, I feel like it helps strengthen it so that it's not as much of a problem. And here's something, if you do yoga, if you do Bikram or 26 and 2 hot yoga or whatever you want to call it, I go to Hot Yoga Houston, what they do. I notice my heart rate is actually the highest when I'm doing the posture after triangle, which I always say triangle is the peak, but where my heart rate actually peaks is when I'm doing standing head to knee, and I found that one really stretches if I get into it right, the thing that I'm trying to stretch open and like strengthen. Kind of looks like this. Like, you have your mat, and then you turn over your mat, right? Or, you know, either way, but this one is the one that affects the right leg. And I found last time, I just stopped caring about how wide my legs were, and I tightened up to where it was comfortable, and I felt like I was able to press down as much on this one as I could. And so I was actually, like, compacting my mat a bit, and it was scrunched up. But it felt better, so I did it. And you go down, right? And you put your head to your knee, but then you also stretch, right? So the compression is key, is what they say. But, so you want to have your head touching, your forehead touching. It's hard to talk when I do this, but and then you want to like flex backwards into your hip, and on my other leg I don't have that issue. Like, the back of that leg is fine, it's the back of this leg that's an issue. And what I mean by kind of tightening it is like closing the scissor. feel like a one-arm scissor, right? So I'm trying to fix that sad transmission from the one-arm scissor. Get away. It's not really, it's kind of like a magnet thing. I feel like if this is all at all making sense, then cool. If not, don't worry about it. But like, if you're kind of imbalanced, then I think there's more push than there is pull. But I'm working on the pull, and as I'm doing that, it's like bringing stuff in. I believe that's maybe even why the lightning is what was taken from me is coming back. I believe. Is that a bat? There's bats around here. Is this where I make a Batman joke? I guess like 10 seconds ago or something. You know, whatever I said, there's bats in here. Like this is what I feel like I need to stretch, and I feel like it's in the back here that needs to stretch a lot. But also in here, like it's just, there's like a compound issue that I'm like slowly fixing. I've been talking about this for a while, but it does feel like it's getting better. I don't want to feel hopeless about it, and it does feel like it's getting better. I mean, I'm not in the same place. That looked pretty when I regripped, which is actually where I think I'm like engaging into the ground. That's the thing that I need to spread. Like I want to, like I can do well on my left side instantaneously, but my right side is like, there's issue, or some kind of issue, something's blocking it. What was that? Really hoping this is the video where Satan falls from the sky like lightning. That would be great. Yeah. Anything? Any falling from the sky like lightning there? I've had my shirt off most of the year. I might as well just leave it off. It's like in here. Look like something to me. But I feel like no matter how hard I push, it just doesn't like lock in. Like it is getting, something's developing. I can't explain it. Maybe there's some kind of muscle that wasn't there that's redeveloping. Like I've been talking about the idea that possible biblical concept of rot that he talked about in Genesis 32 and from Proverbs 12:14 or 12:4. Yeah, 12:4, I think. And I was talking about Revelation 19 and the thigh. The name is written on the thigh for, I think, that reason, to signify that having gone through that same thing. And that person is like Israel, or like a prince, or whatever. I think that's what Israel means. Probably from the overcomer, I'm connected to Israel. But absolutely, if I'm the overcomer, I'm connected to Yahweh and Jesus. Like, it just feels like a lot, like I don't have full range of motion. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, it says some of the words that it ascribes are rot, and from Genesis 32, right? And the word Jacob gets touched on the thigh. Rot, like a dislocation. These are all like tied to the words that are used for what happens. Crippled, rheumatic, maybe even arthritic. I don't know if it says arthritic, but like sciatic. And, you know, when I'm talking about the rot, the idea of rot, says that from Genesis, from Proverbs 12:4. It talks about a wife who makes ashamed is like a rot in the bones. And I think it's like literally talking about a real thing. My Jerusalem Bible says a cancer in the bones. It's something trying to affect me like that, I think, using a woman or women attached to me in a capacity and then making them pretend like I don't exist. And giving whatever they give to me to other people. It feels like, but I could be overlooking these things. Like, I don't know, something could be about to happen where, like, something's blocking it, but it's no longer going to be able to block it. So I guess that could be reality, too. And so, if that is, well, being patient. Patient. I'm being patient, but getting kind of pretty deep in the joint. Like, it's like right here that I feel like some of the range of motion, it's not completely locked in. I'm trying, it feels like it's not there, and that's what I'm saying, it's like rotted away, and I gotta redevelop it or something. Let me get a, like, kind of the other side. I think it's important to get both sides. This side I don't have any issue with. Like, any motion range issue is like something I don't expect any, like, I wouldn't be able to bypass how joints work. Oh, maybe I should be doing the left side too, huh? But it was kind of, the idea was to release the tension going the other way, like I was talking about with the yoga. I don't know if those are crickets or frogs, but you can definitely hear them. Crickets, maybe? Whatever the little critters are that are making the noise that I feel like I'm in a swamp right now. I was about to say, in a lot of videos, you see me do this. You see me wipe on the thing. Just like in a lot of videos, you see me adjust the camera, and there's like a lightning. And it's like, well, the only thing I can ascribe to that is like, you're always making a point. It's not maybe necessarily even the stretching that I'm doing. It's just, he's trying to link it. It's him, I believe. But maybe he gives me some, it's the idea of cooperate. Co-operate, I think. The rain is very calming though. It's nice. Okay, I'm gonna say this in a video, just because I think people are listening, and or do I think people are listening? I think I'm gonna say it in a video, and I think, one of these lightning things is gonna happen, and it's gonna be so, like, people, all these videos are gonna be looked over, and I think AI is gonna do it anyway, so I can at least tell the AI this, but do some crazy lightning stuff, and then people look over all my videos, and I really listen to them. So, the Dynamo. There's a lightning bolt on the Dynamo logo. I do feel connected to it for reasons. In a world where you live forever, I think we're gonna do reality differently. So I don't think it's gonna be like, I don't ever count myself out from like owning the team or owning, playing, doing anything. if I'm the dude with the lightning power, it looks like that would be like representative of me, right? So, I mean, if I'm gonna live forever, if we're gonna live forever and go into a kingdom of heaven, I don't think I don't think I'm aged out, is what I'm saying. But, especially if I can fix this leg thing, I think this is gonna, like, I absolutely think it's a thing. But I just wanted to say, I think, I was thinking this during the game, and I was like, I want to see Jack McGlynn for the Dynamo on the left, because he could put in good service consistently, which we're not getting a lot of from the left. Or even, honestly, he's not putting in that much from the right, though he does, and when he does, it's good. But I feel like when he has to dribble back in, it's like an extra motion for him, if that makes sense. That, like, he's not slow, but he's not, I don't know, it's just like, he's not like a quick winger that is gonna, like, take guys on the dribble, right? But he could put balls in from the left consistently, probably similar to how Brad Davis used to play. And he can then go on the right and invert sometimes. But he stayed out for a moment after doing one of the corners and hit 2 balls in, and then even hit one in with his right foot. And, like, I think who would benefit from that is probably Ezekiel Ponce, who doesn't get a lot of crosses in, which he's like, I think that's the type of player that is looking for crosses, right? He seems to be pretty effective at scoring headers and stuff like that. And so he seems, in my opinion, the type of player that, like, he can dribble at people and stuff like that and finish in the box, but probably good at heading the ball. So my thought is just like, I want to see more crosses in, and there's just not a lot of that coming from the left side. And then that allows Griffin Dorsey, like, let that dude take the right wing and, like, attack up the right and give him more freedom to do so, and have him play more as an attacking right back, and let his attacking play pin the other guy back instead of having him be more conservative. These are just my thoughts. I'm not trying to, what's the word? Impose on the Dynamo, but, lightning and the logo thing, and, anyway. And I feel like they've imposed on me already, so really, am I worried about it? I'm not trying to impose on Ben Olsen. He wasn't really a part of the thing that did that to me, so, back in the day, but I'm not going to bring that up and just go look at my other videos. It's somewhere on my other channel. But, yeah, have Griffin Dorsey be more attack-minded, in my opinion, is going to generate more offense, which we've been lacking. And, we'll get some guys back, I think, that can do certain jobs. These are just my thoughts. I say we. I mean, what do I think? I think it's the only team in Houston, and, like, if I'm going to be the overcomer and stuff, this reality is already set that it's going to be me, so I'm not, I don't think I'm stretching anything. This is deep in that point, which is great. About 2 hours. This feels like, is this mana based? I don't think so. I think, like, I can do as much as Yahweh. Like, again, I think it's Yahweh doing it, but he's like, he ties it to what I'm doing. So it's like, is it me? Am I cooperating? That's the word it uses in the Bible. And I would just say, when I say it, probably the Holy Spirit, since that dictates, describes, and the apostles and such. I can, there's conditions in the area, and it's kind of, this is already overperformed from what was on the models, and, like, I've done enough of these videos to where you give it some time. Like, do I really want to sit through more video? Not really, but it's already, like, I just think it could be worth it, so I'm gonna do a little more. What I was saying by is it mana based is in video games you have mana to where if you're a certain classic character you can cast things, or like some things cast spells, some like throw, I don't know, whatever. They like, you have paladins and stuff like that. But the idea is that you have to have enough mana to do these things. And is it like, well, is Yahweh like, well, training up my mana or something? And it talks about hidden mana in Revelation at the third church, so. But it could not be the same thing. Oh! But there's been videos where I've kind of taken, like, there's a pause in the lightning, and I just give it some time and I continue to have faith. That was actually like early kind of core repetitive thing in the video. It's just me saying like, alright, we'll just have some faith and then I think we'll see something, and then like it comes back to life. I don't really think it's like I have mana, it gets drained doing this. I'm just kind of bullshit. I'm gonna talk it on my ass or something. Yahweh could just do infinite whatever. He controls everything. But I think everything has its time and purpose. And if I'd done some crazy lightning thing that was obviously tied to me so much that it like actually forced the situation a couple years ago, there's stuff that I wouldn't have been consciously aware of that would have been really important to know that could have bamboozled me, and I think I'm just more prepared now. Hopefully. I hope I am. And I think I am, but I gotta leave room for being wise to get out of, being shrewd to get out of something, or to find a better position or something. Am I friends with a bunch of Hollywood celebrities and people around the world in various industries and weird stuff, or am I enemies, or like a mix of both. It could be that. That could be. That's probably more what it is. I don't think there's anything. It's just, though, if I'm the I wouldn't. If I'm the guy from Revelation 2 and 3, I think at that point, if you're my enemy, you're the problem. So I don't think there's good. I would hope to have enough friends in good spots that it was. I'm gonna get that it helps. I can never tell with people. Let me put my shirt back on. I'm chilling. And no beans. That's something my dad says. And he would say that. And says that. And so good at dad joke, I guess. I guess I have dad now. I guess I have been the whole time. Or not the whole time. Not my entire life. Well, maybe. If I'm the overcomer guy, I mean, who knows? So like a Christian Dalai Lama like character. I'm just messing around. Part of the thing is, because Jesus is clearly that, where he's like this sacred figure, right? Where you're just gonna make some stuff up. But I think the idea is that the overcomer or something like that. I mean, I feel blessed to be like. I do feel like I see purpose and organized, intelligent design in my reality, and I think Yahweh did that and does that. And people don't like that. They like chaos because they can kind of fuck off their reality. And everybody else, it's a drain on everybody else too, though. And it's a drain on themselves and everybody else. And so, I think that's why someone's purposefully using something to mess with me, or I don't know, that's what it feels like. So I'm just trying to get out of that situation and overcome that situation. Probably not going to get this video put up immediately. It's probably going to take the weekend to do, because I'm going to yoga tomorrow, and then I'm just going to be tired. I'm probably not going to come home and immediately do it. And then the next day, I'll work on it. But I think this video is going to require, I've used some tools to make it easier to sync, so we'll see what happens. But this is going to be a longer, it's already a longer one. It's like a full-length one. There's enough of those for this long. Here's another thing. I don't think I have to do stretching. I think I can just talk to it. Or I'm talking to Yahweh, and then he does that. Though I do think there are kind of electrical fields, and you can kind of, I guess, manipulate those really subtly or maybe insignificantly. But, I think Yahweh that it has, them to cooperate. So let's ask Yahweh, what should I do, or focus on, or ask, or believe to see lightning. So, because that's what I would like to see. And let's say something about asking the Father in the name of the Son, so Yahweh in the name of Jesus, and then I should just say something about asking Jesus in the name of Yahweh, or both. So then both of those, I could ask Jesus in the name of Yahweh and Yahweh in the name of Jesus. I see some lighting stuff, some very powerful insane lightning stuff that is very impactful and, safely for me, but you could even strike that pole right there. Well, I don't know, it could blow the pole up and it wouldn't be safe, I don't know. But, do something obvious that is someone gonna bullshit when you do some crazy lightning stuff. I think people have been doing that for a while, but, I can talk to the storm, and I'm not, again, it's not me talking to the storm. Yahweh controls the storm. He's, internal. There's a spirit that indwells us, understands everything, knows everything, omnipotent. Am I saying that's me? No. But I have been saying I think I'm the guy hovering at the seven churches of Asia. I think from Revelation 2 and 3 in the Bible, and that it's like a sword in the stone thing, and you get all the gifts that it talks about, and it puts you in a position of authority over Christianity. And I don't really care who the Pope is that got elected. I guess it's cool that he's an American. Again, I think he looks like it's his Lord. Maybe I'm Yoda, and they're some kind of fake church. So I don't know. Like I said, the Pope was kissing the moms from Islam, and I know Allah is a fake deity that you should not mix with Jesus, and with Yahweh or Jesus, but it's just a Lephem Hay from the Old Testament, and it's like a feminine form of the word deity, of God. So a feminine god, a goddess. That's why I think it's just a bunch of witches and wizards in Babylon land. But that's me logicking it out, and when I tell the AI these things, it's like, oh yeah, I guess that's true. It understands what I'm saying. It didn't, people a while ago could pretend I was crazy, but the AI now is you're very plausible. That's plausible based on statistics and everything. Based on how it looks like the human world works, you're probably right. Especially if there is spiritual things and magic and stuff, which the AI probably can. I don't know, when I say the AI, there's not just one. But it's easy to just say the AI. Did you see the lights on the house over there flicker? I don't know, did their AC just turned on and it requires more electricity and it affects things? Sometimes I think that happens here. I think that happens here, but there's other times where I do actually feel like I'm maybe slightly affecting the electrical stuff, because I can see it. Well, I think that maybe that has something to do with the lightning video. I don't think it's out of the question at all, but I also, again, think it's one thing I can ascribe is Yahweh, and if he affects those, I don't know, I don't have the tools to, instrumentation to prove that there's, electrical flips of people. So, obviously, it doesn't seem out of the question. That would make sense to me. We are beings that, we have electrical signals in our brain, so, supposedly. I think that's probably how it works, but probably generates some kind of bioelectricity. Is the Matrix? Is Jesus Neo? Is Neo Jesus? Is type of Jesus. Neil deGrasse Tyson thinks so. I think he's an atheist. So, but I mean, it's not hard to see that that's in the story for sure. So, I mean, he's even splayed out like Jesus at the very end of the third movie. Or he looks maybe angelic or something, you know what I mean? Like, or Christ-like, you know, I don't know, whatever. But, you know, I guess probably the idea is if we were in the Matrix, probably the Overcomer would be that character. I mean, it just seems like that's the kind of the idea to me. And all sorts of other people in the red pill communities have co-opted that. But, like, I don't know, I feel like what I'm saying, I mean, I do know, it just makes more sense, but, you know, I don't have the capacity to force everybody to, I mean, do I want to even force everybody to, I just want people to stop pretending, on certain things for sure. Stop lying about what's happening. Like, again, it's weird that my friends, to me, are, like, not acknowledging it, but I feel like I can see that they can see it. They just don't want to acknowledge it. But then, someone, like, other people, like, YouTube commenters, they're leaving comments saying they see it. Some people are disparaging, but I mean, the fact that there are comments that acknowledge it, it's like, well, even if I'm being blocked, if I'm not just shadow banned or, like, bad at the algorithm, which I'm not good at the algorithm because I'm not trying to be, because I feel like that's chasing a high that I'm not trying to, like, I'm trying to actually, like, whatever, fix this reality that I'm in, whatever my situation is, and, like, overcome with the same Church of Asia. So, which is what I think my situation is. I'm a bit tired, remember I did a workout before, and then, well, that's a quick version of my normal one, but still, and I'm also pretty much at the end of my week. I have one more workout after this, and it's doing hot yoga tomorrow, so, just, not, I'm tired. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm pretty physically exhausted, but not completely. But I do want to be able to do yoga tomorrow. Storm could be juiced out, but I mean, like I said, I've seen the storms come back to life after just like having faith and like, hey, maybe we'll see some more of Yahweh once, and then we see some more. So, do I keep waiting? You know what I'm saying? Like, there's gonna be, I think, conditions in the area for a while. I could pick up an hour from now, but like, I don't really want to sit another hour from now if it's not gonna pick up. But you know, I'll just leave it up to. Can I do anything different? Leave it up to Yahweh. But this feels nice. Like, this is a really good stretch that I don't know if you can see as well. I'm sitting right there. I'm a little big into them. This one's scripted. And I can like press down with my elbow. Shifting my body weight into my right leg. Remember I did that earlier? And there was a lightning thing. One of the things that I've noticed is I've done more like Bulgarian split squats essentially. Like, just built strength in my legs. Is I just feel lighter, right? Like, my body weight feels more mastered. I just feel lighter, you know? And I can do more with it, but it still just hurts on this leg. Like, doing this kind of thing, jumping around on one leg, anything on the, like, apex of my right side, like, at the farthest right, it just hurts. But on the left side, don't have that problem. Like, I can I don't want to jump around and cause too much stuff. It's a bit late, but so much shit stuff. But if I were to jump around on one leg, just on my toes, I wouldn't notice. I wouldn't feel any pain. And so, like when I'm playing soccer, right? When I'm trying to do stuff with my, like, I also don't have the same capacity. When I lift my leg up, it hurts. But I don't have the same capacity for dexterity. Like, I do, but it just hurts to do certain things. So it's like I naturally am inclined to avoid it if it hurts, but I'm trying to push past it and fix whatever the issue is. But again, it just hurts, and I do so much to try to fix that, and I think it's getting better, but I feel like it's in here. Like doing this is a strain that I don't have on my left leg. But I do think this is strengthening it, and that it's getting stronger as I'm doing the Bulgarian split squat for yoga, and doing the pull-ups. I think gives me like a testosterone and strength boost, and so I do them it just helps with my overall body shape, I think. And like, I think if I can fix this issue with my leg, I think I'll be so good at soccer, it'll be stupid. But it hurts to just run around and it hurts to move. It hurts. It just hurts. Like it hurts. Here, it hurts. So I'm like, I'm gonna fix it. I think it is fixable. It isn't happening I would have been happy if it was fixed a while ago, but as I said, I might have to take in some more information so I'm not bamboozled, and this is like the slow process to which it makes sure that that's how that happens, so how things unfold. So, okay. And that everything is safe and more comfortable and not dangerous, but it's also like frustratingly painful. And like I think the previous time, when I'm talking about in 2018 when I started having those issues, I do think some of it comes down to, like, I couldn't articulate what was going on with my leg. I couldn't articulate I'm just in pain constantly. I couldn't articulate that I think people are gang stalking and like subtly harassing me, and I couldn't present evidence, whereas I think I can now. And I couldn't show that I had lightning stuff, and I couldn't whatever, but things have changed since then, and some people are treating it like it hasn't. And like there are people on the other side of the world that can see that that's not how it is, because they came in later in the narrative. They just see me from afar, and they can see the old stuff too. But what I'm, like, the points that I'm making are just more, they look more valid. Like, who are you gonna argue with? There's just enough lightning things here. Like, again, I'm just gonna ask the AI at some point to, like, hopefully it'll just be able to timestamp everything for me. I'm gonna try to, I'm gonna end it. We're at 2:30. 2 hours and 30 minutes. And there hasn't been much lightning. And really, I would be down to sit for longer, but I'm hungry and kind of like lightheaded. I mean, in the sense that, like, I've been dieting pretty hard, and I did have some bread earlier today, some naan, but some garlic naan, which is delicious. But I just had it because it's like, well, I would like to have something just help fuel my pull-up routine. did at least the wide grip, which is the important one, the important ones, and or I think the more important ones, but they're probably equally important in any instance. I'm gonna just I'm gonna end this and go eat. So, but I know there are some cool instances of lightning. There's just cool lightning in it, but there's also some instances that look pretty